Hi, and welcome to World Area Studies Western Hemisphere Week 8. Let's take a look at what we are doing this week. So I want you to first take a look over all the work for the week so you know what to expect. Read the first page in the folder and watch the video on specialization. Go to the CIA World Factbook site and fill in the comparative economies chart for the USA. Then tomorrow or Tuesday, continue filling in the chart for Venezuela and Ecuador. On Wednesday, answer the Comparing Economies quiz questions. On Thursday, watch the TED Talk video and make your post. On Friday, come back and make your reply to 2 people. On the weekend, if you're all caught up, have an awesome weekend, or take some time to get caught up. Remember, if you ever have any questions or problems, please let me know. Email me, text me, use the Schoology messaging feature. And if you turn something in that already has a grade on it, please make sure you are using the late work form to let me know that I need to change your grade. Alright, so let's take a look at what that looks like. So you'll click on the Materials button, and you will come down to Course Content. And we're still in Unit 2, so you can jump down to Week 8. And so the first page. Alright, so comparing economies. Over the last couple of weeks, we have looked at some of the areas of economics, including our own financial well-being. This week, we are going to look at and compare 3 different types of economies. We'll look more closely at the market economy in the U.S., the command economy of Venezuela, and the traditional economy of Ecuador. It's important to note that the term traditional economy could also be considered emerging economies or developing economies. Past generations may have also called these third world economies. It's essential that we compare these economies to better understand how trade and specialization work. As the world becomes more and more advanced, we also become more connected. We also start to use more resources. This could cause some resources to become scarce or not even exist at all. Because of this, we need to be able to find ways to help other countries and our own manage resources wisely so that we can all benefit from each other. As you go through this week, think about the following essential ideas and questions. How does scarcity influence decisions? Why do we trade? Scarcity of resources affects the choices of individuals, businesses, and communities. Economic policies Economic policies impact markets. Economic systems impact the standard of living of people, and specialization results in greater independence. Alright, so begin this week by watching this video on specialization. You might want to take notes. It might help you in the quiz later this week. After you've watched the video, you can move on to the main assignment for this week. So we will be looking at 3 countries, Venezuela, Ecuador, and the U.S., using the CIA World Factbook. So in this lesson, you will look at market economies, command economies, and developing economies. You will also compare one country to another by reference to factors associated with economic performance. So first, you need to take a look at how economics categorize economies. And a market economy is characterized by private ownership of means of production, for example, farms and factories. A supply and demand are responsible for the price and allocation decisions. The United States, Hong Kong, and Germany are considered market economies. A command economy is characterized by government or central control of ownership of the means of production, and with a central authority setting the prices of goods and services and for most allocation decisions. North Korea and Cuba, and in this experiment, Venezuela, are command economies, for more specifically communist economies. A developing or traditional economy is one that is not yet industrialized but is developing. Chad, Ecuador, and Bangladesh are examples of these. In this lesson, you will compare the aspects of the United States, representing a market economy, Venezuela, representing a command economy, and Ecuador, representing a developing economy. Alright, so market and command economy nations tend to place different priorities on the role of government in the economy, with the government sector generally placing a larger role in the command nations. Given their resources, market and command nations can choose to focus on increased specialization and industrialization and expand to new markets. Developing nations often, however, lack the resources necessary for industrialization and may seek aid or investment from industrialized countries in order to grow. With increased globalization, we are becoming more acutely aware of the interdependence of all nations of our world economy. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to need to open up this Google Doc. Remember, you will need to make a copy so that you can write on it. It is only shared with you for viewing. So, after you have that open, come back here and open the CIA World Factbook website, and you will be able to choose the country over here. So if you start with Venezuela, Monday we're starting with the United States. If you're having trouble finding any of the information, let me know and I can tell you where to look. I do know that the literacy rate for the United States is not in there. It should be under people and society, and it should be at the bottom, but for some reason it is not currently in there. So Googling it will tell you that we have about an 85% literacy rate in the United States. Alright, so let's first look at Venezuela, just because, or Ecuador, because it comes first in the alphabet. So you'll find your country, and you will then scroll down here. You'll have questions about the government. You'll have questions about the economy and the people. So like I talked about the literacy rate, you'll want to click on the plus sign and then come down, look through these for different things. And literacy rate is usually, life expectancy rate is something you might need to know. Literacy rate is usually down, here we go, literacy defined as anyone over age 15 can read and write. 94% of their population can do this. So, that's where you would find that kind of information. So, look that up and do those 3 countries, fill in the chart, and then submit that chart to the Dropbox. After you have filled that in, then there is a quiz where you will need to answer in complete sentences these questions relating to that chart. And then at the end of the week, our discussion talks about how our Earth is running out of resources. So watch this video and then answer the question using evidence from the video. What is the evidence that the world is reaching its economic growth capacity? And how does he compare the global economy to personal finance? And what kind of crisis do you think it will take to get the world to realize that it is too full? Right, so there is also an article down here if you want to read about it. This one is the transcript if you'd rather read than watch the video, and that's just about the speaker. So post your comments and then reply to 2 people. Please use complete sentences and use support, something like a quote from the video. Alright, that should be it for the week. So again, if you have any questions, please remember to call me or email me. Do this before the weekend because I don't usually respond to emails on the weekend. Hope you have a great week, and if you're coming to campus, I will see you on Wednesday. And Wednesday, hopefully we can work on this together if you're having trouble finding it. Alright, enjoy your week.